Presented by McNamara Florist, Reynolds Body Shop, Red Cobra Wrestling, St. Bank of Liston, and Matthew Brom's Uncle Mike. Avon Varsity Football is back on the air. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to another exciting action-packed edition of Avon Varsity Football right here on AudioSportsOnline.com. Marcus Fredwell here with you alongside Sam Penrod, who will join us in a few moments. Just want to thank you for joining us for tonight's last home contest of the regular season, where the Orioles will take on the Zionsville Eagles in what looks to be a high-scoring HCC battle as two prolific offenses face off with one another this evening. Going to give you a couple of quick messages from our sponsors and get you back here for a little pregame action and get ready to roll with tonight's contest as we get ready for the national anthem and the other things in the pregame section of tonight's game. But give you a quick couple messages and be back in a moment here on AudioSportsOnline.com. State Bank of Liston, serving you across Hendricks and Boone counties. Count on us for your mortgage, loan, home equity, and banking needs. Mention this ad and get a free gift when Avon wins on Friday nights. Visit us at www.statebankofliston.com to see our bank dog, Charlie, welcome you. McNamara Florist is famous for its unique floral designs for all occasions that help its clients express their emotions through flowers and floral giftware. Visit any of McNamara Florist's 7 convenient locations for outstanding personal service and floral design, or to select from the renowned home decor merchandise, including stunning Christmas classics. Also think of McNamara Florist to provide your floral needs for weddings, home parties, or corporate functions. Contact a sales representative for McNamara Florist at 317-579-7900 or visit their website at www.mcnamaraflorist.com. Marcus Fredwell back here with you on Audio Sports Online. We'll bring in Sam Penrod here in just a few moments. But first, we're going to go down to the field for tonight's Star Spangled Banner, performed by the Avon Marching Band, the pride of Avon. It is perennial national powerhouse, the marching band here at Avon. And when we get back from that, we'll do a couple quick more messages. So as you take in the dance team performance, we're going to go ahead and finish off with a couple of quick reads here for you. Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcast. They are located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Sorry about that. Their phone is 317-243-2372. And they're open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for over 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at reynoldsbodyshop.com. I want to give a shout-out across the field to our good friend over there in the Zionsville press box, Coach Terry Rowe. He is one of the head 7th grade football coach over at Zionsville, and he does a great job out there. His team finished with a record of 7-1 this season. And we're waving across. I think he's looking at me maybe. Yeah, he's looking at me. He's always looking at me. And, he did a great job this year. Definitely want to give him a big shout-out. We're going to be texting him throughout the games for statistical updates. But at this time, I think the band will come on to the band is out on the field, I believe, as they say. And here comes the drum line playing them in. So we'll take a quick pause and be back in a moment for the national anthem. And then we will give you a couple more little pregame items before we get going with myself and Sam Penrod here on AudioSportsOnline.com from Avon High School, Andy Moore Athletic Complex here in the heart of the Hoosier Heartland. Well, back here with you on AudioSportsOnline.com, Marcus Fredwell, again alongside Sam Penrod, who will be joining us in just a few moments. We're just going to buy a little bit of time here before we get ready to get started. Again, the band is out on the field, as they say. They are getting ready to play in the team with the school fight song, and we're getting ready to go. And just want to say a couple of quick thanks to the folks back in the home booth. Rob, Kendall, Jason, Dozier, always flipping the switches on Friday nights for us. They do a great job back at home. Rob sometimes is actually out in the field, but this week he is back in the comfort of the production booth, and he is flipping the switches for us, keeping us on the air, making sure our levels don't get too high or too low. So if you need to reach out about any of our games that are on AudioSportsOnline.com at any time, you can go ahead and reach him at Rob Kendall on Twitter. Just give him what game you're watching, and he will definitely keep up and make sure that you are enjoying yourself to the best of our abilities as much as anything else. Going to get some couple things before we go. Got one more message to read, and then we'll get back with the rest of the pregame show for tonight's contest between the Avon Orioles and the visiting Zionsville Eagles. Avon has a rich wrestling tradition. Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of that. Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind sidelines in the Red Brick Building. Red Cobra offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at redcobrawrestling.com. And I know the folks here at Avon are very happy to have Red Cobra Wrestling in the community, as it has helped lead them to a couple of individual state titles as well as a team state title in the wrestling ranks. Looks like the ball players are in the tunnel getting ready to fill it up and run out of it. Zionsville surely will be taking the field momentarily as we get ready to go with action tonight. As you all know, Avon fans, will briefly touch on what you know about the Orioles already. Henry Hessen will be the man, quote-unquote, under center, although Avon won't take very many under center snaps as the night goes on. See a lot of shotgun, a lot of pistol, with some zone runs on the offensive side, as well as a lot of RPOs, which is one thing that we have seen a lot more of this year with the athleticism of Hessen. And we love to see that with Henry, who's got not only has a huge arm and has the ability to throw the ball down the field, but also has the ability to tuck it and run when he needs to, and has had some success with that over the last several weeks. Also, a big name, senior. On senior night is Samson James. Look for him to get a lot of carries. Look for him to try to, etch his name even further in the record books here at Avon High School, as he's done so easily over the last several years. It's really just been a treat to have a chance to watch a guy like him play. Really looking forward to watching him go on in the ranks of the Big Ten. Another D1 athlete heading out of Avon and heading to the high levels of college football. It's something we love to see, and it's something that really is a credit to this Avon coaching staff, the weight training staff, and everybody here in the youth programs as well, getting these young men ready to not only move on to high school, but prepare themselves to move on to the next level as well. So it's something definitely that is owed a lot of gratitude to multiple levels along this Avon coaching train. So we want to thank all of those folks. So that's Samson James. Also got Wallace Stovall and Cohen Morrell out there at the wide receiver positions. Cohen, a junior, Wallace, a sophomore, will both have next year to battle it out. Jalen Peterson, a senior, will not have next year, as well as Cameron Moulton's another guy who plays both ways. Both those guys run a little bit at receiver. As you can see here at the right corner of your screen, you'll see the Orioles running onto the field right about now, and they're coming on to the sound of the school song. You can see the flags come across your screen there as well. Illinois loyalty playing loud and proud for these Avon Oriole faithful. And the hands are clapping. The smoke is blowing. Zionsville's getting ready to come out of their locker room on the far side of the field. And in just a moment, we're going to bring in our good friend Sam Penrod to give you a little bit more insight. And we've talked about Hessen. We've talked about James. We've talked about the weapons for the Avon offense as well as the defense. We'll touch real quickly on a little bit of what Zionsville has to offer. Quarterback Tommy Fawcett will be quarterback Josh Wagner will probably be calling a majority of the signals, as well as Cole Wiseman. They do a little bit of mixing up with their quarterbacks there. And so keep that in mind as we go throughout tonight. A lot of different running backs, most notably Tommy Fawcett, the senior. He is a young man that does a lot of damage. Number 8 he's going to be number 8 today. And then also a freshman for the Zionsville Eagles, number 33, Colin Price, is likely to make an impact tonight as well. He saw more and more action. Had 10 touches in the first half last week for 130 yards and a touchdown against a good Brownsburg team. And one of the longest games I've ever seen, 70-52. And Brownsburg, I believe, was ahead 56-31 at halftime. It was much closer than that. I was watching as my game was winding down, Sam, and Zionsville threw back-to-back pick sixes before Price had a chance to take one in from about 40 yards out near the expiration of the first half. And that made it 56-31.
Wow.
And I saw, 21 points get scored in a matter of 40 seconds.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it was a long game, 120-some points.
Well, and I was at Avon Westfield, as you know, and it was a much quicker game.
Stagnant is what I was heard.
Yeah, it was a slow second half. A really good first half for the Orioles. Hessen got on the board quickly with a couple of good passes. I believe it was Jalen Peterson that handled the scoring for the offense, and he did a great job.
I was kind of following the game a little bit via the phone, and I thought they were going to keep coming back to, JP, being that they were having so much success with that early. Obviously not being there, you don't know what adjustments are made to both sides of the ball to see what's happened. So,
and like you said, Sam, you really don't know what they say in the locker room when they go out there. As we see, Avon has won the toss, elected to defer to the second half, so the Orioles will kick off from right to left on your computer screen, and the Eagles in the white on white uniforms with green numbers and silver helmets will receive. But Sam, like we were saying, we can't see what the adjustments are made in the locker room, but there was certainly some positive adjustments made for the Shamrocks, and the Orioles were, as you mentioned, came out a little bit stagnant in the second half last week.
Yeah, it's a cat and mouse game. That's kind of that's for coaches. That's the fun part. You get to kind of game plan back and forth, especially when your team like Avon, you have a good defense. You got and you got a great running game. You don't. It's hard to go away from those two things when you're up sometimes. So it's, football's football. So it's kind of hard to necessarily pinpoint what an issue is, and it varies from opponent to opponent. Some people just match up better sometimes. So it's a lot of factors in there.
Well, and you're absolutely right, Sam. It's really just about who you're playing against. Westfield seems to, whether they've been good or bad, they've not necessarily had Avon's number, but they've always had a way to stay in a tight game.
I was always impressed with the movement their secondary can kind of give you, too. They do a lot of good things to disguising it, so,
And a very solid running game over there at Westfield. Always. So, as we get ready, Bandy's going to kick this one off from the near side hash mark, kicks it deep. Down, going to be taken at the goal line by number 8, Fawcett, and he will take it out at the 10, now across the 15. Down toward the 20. I believe he'll be stopped right at the 20, and that's where the Eagles will take over first and 10. A lot of offensive substitution from the Eagles. They like to run a lot of plays very quickly.
A lot of jets.
I believe they run on average somewhere in between 60 and 80 plays a game.
Jet pass, I'm calling it here. They're going to try a jet pass early.
I'm going to say it's going to be either a handoff to Tommy Fawcett or a fake handoff to Fawcett and a handoff up the middle to let's see which running back they have in there right now. I think it's Gus Bumgardner back there, number 27, next to the quarterback. Well, it is Tommy drop back, a pass to the far side to Tommy Fawcett. That was Josh Wagner in there that time on the pass and completed to Fawcett really quickly.
Yeah, they're. I got to play against them in 7th grade. They do a lot of those open formations. I really like what they do with their offense too. So.
Well, they run it quickly. I'm sure not as quickly at the 7th grade level as they run it here. But I actually had a chance to coach with that 7th grade staff last year as well, and it's a great group of guys. We talked about them in the pregame. Terry Rowe over there across the field, and here comes Fawcett in motion. They'll fake the handoff, hand it off up the middle to Bumgarner, and he's taken down in the backfield. Who was that, Sam?
I really expect this Zionsville team to put the ball in the air as much as possible. This is, again, tough defensive line for Avon. Tough four-man front for Avon. We're seeing a little bit more of these last couple games. Ironically, they're in a three-man front right now.
That 3-3-5 look that we've become accustomed to seeing from the Orioles over the last several years. And here's Wagner dropping back the pass, looking over the middle, has a man, and I believe that's completed.
Nice pass.
Yeah, fantastic defense by Conley on that play. Nathan Conley was in defense from his safety spot, but a great pass.
Yeah, Avon with in a 3-by-1 look on defense, they're manning up that backside or something. They're giving a lot of help to that trip side. So look to see how that evolves as the game goes on too. Inside handoff here.
Several very large offensive linemen there for Zionsville. Not necessarily something that has been a custom of the Eagles.
They seem to have a few giant human beings on the edge always.
Yeah, very large human beings. And Sam, I mentioned Colin Price earlier. He's a freshman running back for these Eagles. He's got one of the fastest 40 times probably on the field right now, with the exception of maybe Cameron Moulton. And here's the wheel pass to the tight end, and that's going to fall incomplete. Good coverage on the play by Conley again.
At the top there.
And I think they were looking for 85. Yeah, Joel DeCourcy. And that's going to fall incomplete for a third down and about 5 now.
And it looks like they're wanting to attack in a 3-by-1 set. They had a shot there. The quarterback was a little high on that one. So looks trips bunch to the top left side of the field here.
They love this formation. Tommy Fawcett can get open out of this formation quite a bit. I believe that's him in the top in the bunch.
The zone handoff here, wide zone.
Looking for Bumgarner around the end, but he can't get there. That'll bring up a 4th down. You never know with Coach Echeverria over there. He's got guts, man. He's got some guts.
Yeah, I mean, with that bunch, again, that cat and mouse game that we talk about in football, interested to see how Zionsville, like I said, they always have some tricks up their sleeves, some neat formations as an offensive coach you like to see.
Well, at 4th and 5, Indiana high school football, losses don't matter so much in the regular season, so you got nothing to lose here. Might as well see what you can do on 4th down, and right there you see it. Uncle Mike, close your eyes real quick because Matthew Brom jumped off sides. Take that opportunity to thank Mike Brom for being one of our finest sponsors. He's all the way from Alaska. I know you love it. I know you love it, Sam. Mike Brom joining us from Alaska each and every week, and we love to have him. We enjoy his support, but he needs to give Matthew a call in the morning and tell him to watch the football.
He's definitely going to want to talk to him about that one.
Gus Bumgarner comes in motion. He's next to the quarterback, Wagner. Now Wagner rolls out near side, looking in the corner. Can't find him.
Yeah, it looked like a little slider sprint out there from the QB, rolling to the trip side, and was going for a corner route there, which he was a little bit high on, but, again, Avon had great coverage there.
Well, Big Joe Sargent coming up with the defense on that play. He was looking for Jordan Hull, not to be confused with Jordan Holes. But incomplete nonetheless. And they're going with their 5 wide out look now here as Wagner sends Bumgarner towards the backfield. Hard count. Now he'll hand it off to Bumgarner on the near side, and he's going to lose yards, Sam.
Yeah. They go empty, and then they bring it back into a 3-by-1 look. Not sure that helped them out. The way they're throwing the ball, and I think they're able to throw it well, I would assume they're not getting a lot of effectiveness from the zone run game right now. So,
and it's a dangerous game to play with this Avon secondary to keep throwing the ball all around the yard because this Avon secondary can do some damage.
Line, you always worry about them and how quickly they get back there.
Dropping back to passes, Wagner looking, has a man over the middle, knocked away.
Oh, wow.
And a flag flies, and Sam, I don't like the looks of that. Is that Moulton down on the field? Yeah, that is Cameron Moulton.
That was not a pass interference.
Oh,
so,
definitely. That was unless he hooked him around the back, which we don't have the benefit of replay, Sam. But nonetheless, I mean, that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. It's going to cause a first down.
What an awful call.
And Moulton, that's not good right there.
Yeah, I think we've been pretty, realistic on these calls. That
did not
really
look
bad.
like a pass interference. And I'm going to watch that back 3 or 4 times once we get this posted online tonight. And I think, Sam, I'm going to agree with my assessment right there.
Yeah, I mean, I know he was right there. I mean, that was
tough call.
Tough loss for the Orioles if Moulton's out, because that really
that's
changes
the
their
more important
secondary.
part right there, Sam. And it's very unfortunate because Cameron Moulton, not only a senior on senior night right now, but one of the key members of the Avon secondary.
Absolutely. And wide receiver.
Absolutely,
yeah.
We talked about that in the pregame, how he's been showing some time, seeing some time out there. Looks to be walking off under his own power.
That's good.
A little bit of a limp, but not much. We're going to hear the crowd give him a hand and see what happens next. We have to get that son of yours back around here so he can bring me a pop. Oh, It's right behind us, isn't it? All right, so 8 and 25 remaining in the first quarter. The Eagles will send Tommy Fawcett to the near side. Sam coming through in the clutch with a little Dr. Pepper action. And looks like they're going to go with a little bit of a pistol look this time. Kind of a 2x2 with an H-back back there in the backfield.
Yes. Yeah.
And he will fake the handoff. Wagner dropping back, looking deep over the middle. Has a man. Ball up.
Wow.
Knocked away. Incomplete.
Great. Look for something, Zionsville to come back to something there. Number 1, Jordan Hull, with he did a great job of high point. He just completely missed the football. But, man.
Well, he was wide open, Sam.
Yeah, he can jump. So I'm not sure what it looked like. It maybe been a double move there because they had a lot of time. Looked like we had
where Avon would go to the back shoulder in the end zone with a guy like that.
Well,
you got a guy like Hull.
You got a guy like
you're going to throw it up. Yeah.
I was impressed with his jumping ability there.
Absolutely. You got 3x1 with 3 at the top, 1 at the bottom of the field. Wagner dropping back, looking for the quick hitch to the near side, finds his man.
So they set that up a little bit with they send him deep, and then they start giving him a little cushion, and then you respect it a little bit, and then they dump it when they
and having a chance to coach with that Zionsville staff last year, I get to kind of know what the intricacies of their offense are just a little bit. I was a line coach, so I didn't know that much.
You know they're going to get some single side on the backside.
Well, yeah, and they love that slop route is what they call it. It's a slant stop.
Oh, yeah.
And they love running. You take 3 steps into your slant and you just sit down, and you're usually sitting right there in that area. And he's going to run the out route this time. Ball's tipped up in the air.
Oh, he dropped it.
And he dropped it on the
So they're going at Jalen Peterson tonight, which is kind of interesting because he's one of
Gutsy.
Especially with Cameron Moulton going out, too.
And on quick routes, Sam, going after Peterson on quick routes is dangerous because if he gets a step and picks that off, nobody's going to catch him.
Absolutely. I mean, I would – looks like they're getting to a punt formation here, but not probably the DB I would go after, but maybe just
oh, my gosh, they're bringing the field goal unit on. Now, and I've heard really good things about this young man.
About a 53-yarder or so?
Yeah, Chris Freeman – has an absolute boot on him. He's going to try it from 53 out, and I think he's done something similar before. The kick is on the way. It's long enough, but it's wide left. Just left, and the Orioles will take over. It's a touchback, Sam. So really, I mean, in IHSAA, you're not really messing yourself up that bad.
As long as you can kick it deep enough.
Yeah, if you're attempting an extra point, a field goal from that distance, at least if you miss, it's going to be a touchback automatically.
Yeah.
So the only thing you got to worry with is a blocked kick, and that's not going to happen.
It looked like he just hooked it a little bit. He had the leg on it.
Absolutely.
Just hooked a little left, and that's a little positive. Knowing that if he just strikes it right, he'll be fine.
Well, here come the Orioles. 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom, and a H-back in there is, I believe, Tice Farrell. They'll fake the handoff to James now. Hessen looking. He's going to roll out near far side. He's going to spin. Gets out of 1 tackle.
We got to teach him to slide. He's a quarterback that is not afraid of getting hit. He's took some pretty big hits this year.
Well, he's a baseball guy, so you would think sliding is second nature.
Well, you would think.
We're going to see him about 100 yards away in the springtime on the baseball field, and we're going to be impressed by the things he does out there.
Well, you would assume anyone would be able to slide. I thought Andrew Luck could slide, but he just never did.
He just kind of falls on his legs.
I think it's sometime you're a competitor and it's not in you to slide sometimes.
Right. Well, back out they come. 2 receivers top of the field, 2 to the bottom now. James to the right side of Hessen. He'll drop back. Hessen passes far side looking
nice
for,
catch.
I believe that was
Jalen Peterson.
Yeah, Jalen Peterson. Good call, Sam. That'll bring up a first down for the Orioles. Nice little quick movement.
Again, I think they've been doing well going to Jalen early, especially from what I kind of read last game. You set up that short stuff. Obviously, if you watch the video on him last week, he's a deep threat. So they got to respect him shallow. So
the deeper you get into the game, the more tired Peterson's going to become.
Yeah.
Because he plays every single down on defense. So.
A lot of snaps. I think they rust him a little bit on special teams. But
3-by-1. Farrell on the near side, and here's a handoff. Goes up the middle to James. Hit once, but gets across the line of scrimmage. Gains about 3, and that'll bring up a second down, and we'll call it 7.
Yeah, and a 3-man front from the Zionsville team here. I think if you're Avon, you definitely want to get physical with that front and get some movement. So
absolutely, and what you're trying to do is establish Samson James, who really hasn't had a whole lot of impact in the last several weeks. So look for the Orioles to, like you said, try to move the line and throw the ball right there.
Back to JP.
Hessen. He found JP, who, mechanics, as mechanical as it can get of a catch. He caught the ball, sat down, and the defensive back just flew right over the top of him.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something, whether they play their soft 2 or kind of a 4-3 look there. So that DB out there has to respect JP deep and.
Right, absolutely. That's where I was going to go. If they keep moving that hitch.
Yeah, they're moving JP the bottom of the screen now, so it doesn't look like he's getting a lot of help from the safety.
Keep an eye down
either.
there on that next play if he's still there, as Samson James makes easy work of the first down run, gaining about 7 on the play. Take it out to the ball be spotted at the 40. We'll call it the 42. Yeah,
again, not a lot of help from these corners with the receivers, so they're looking definitely to stack the box. Avon at some point is going to have, they're going to be able to expose, hopefully, the secondary over the top.
Well, they've got that 3-3-5 defense. Do the Eagles. So they run it a little bit differently, though, than the Orioles do. I'll talk a little bit about that. Here's Hessen on the RPO. Finds Tice Farrell, who is upended but makes the catch and gets forward for an easy first down.
That's your prototypical RPO there.
Absolutely.
Read number 3 is your easiest read because the linebackers either read run and make their run keys, or they jump the pass and you hand it off. So,
and they got it right up inside there. And that'll bring up another first down for the Orioles. They'll go a similar formation here with Farrell as the near side H-back. That's Samson James flanking Hessen to his right, and he hands it off to him. And James going to go forward about 2 or 3. Give him 3 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 7.
Avon getting some nice chunk plays on that first and kind of second, put them in second and medium, so leaves you a lot on the board of what you can kind of call play-wise.
Well, Sam, that 3-3-5 look for Zionsville is a little bit different than what Avon does. Avon kind of stacks the box a little bit when they do it a little bit more, and Zionsville's more of a pass defense. Here's Stovall in motion. Handoff goes up the middle to James, who gets forward. 3 yards in a cloud of dust, Sam, and you're going right up the middle for a 3rd and 2 now.
I think you see how they react to the jet motion. I know the jet motion can be a lot of window dressing for some people, and just to see how that outside linebacker reacts to the inside zone, and then you can kind of adjust accordingly, essentially.
Now, Sam, I think most that are listening today would give us a way better rating this time than they gave us last time on the video camera.
Yeah.
But that's because we're paying attention this time.
I'm not sure what happened last time.
We were very concerned with telling people what was going on. Here's the pass.
Right
right to the safety there. Or
looks
maybe
he was
a rover or something like that.
Yeah. Maybe he walked up early and then he dropped late, and Hessen throws it right to the looks like a backer
Thomas.
there. Yes.
Deuce.
I like that.
On the pick. And for all the good things that we see about Hessen, you see the young, see the youth in him, every now and again with a poor decision.
You gotta
but things move so quickly, and it's so hard to make a good decision at that speed.
Any time in a 3-3-5 when you try to throw a quick route to the short side of the field where there's not a lot of room, it's tough to do because if you get somebody you don't see drops in that small zone, it puts you in a bad spot.
Yeah, you're absolutely
empty look
right,
here
Sam.
from Zionsville.
They're going to bring they're going to bring Bub Gardner back into the backfield there. They do. And he'll fake the handoff, Wagner will. He's going to have to step up in the pocket being chased by Hubner. And he's taken down by Nathaniel James.
Yeah, Hubner forced him inside, missed the first tackle. Nathaniel James was able to clean it up there, but
Hubner came unblocked.
Yeah, so it looked like the quarterback assumed that Hubner was going to take the running back that was out, just kept kind of continuing to come in.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that'll bring up 2nd and 17 now
Yeah.
for the Eagles, and the Orioles defense has come up strong here after
They're
a
definitely running
tough
some
first
similar formations here with the H-backs behind. Obviously, Avon not going pistol here. Run outside.
Belly. That's Colin Price for the first time tonight. And Sam, I don't know if you can tell from a short run like that, but this young man, I like to refer to Samson James as lightning in a bottle, and Colin Price would be thunder in a bottle, in my opinion. He's a freshman. He's got a very large skill set of athletic abilities.
Big boy.
He plays center on our basketball team in 7th and 8th grade. He plays right, left, and center field in baseball. Left-handed hitting, leadoff hitter, and runs like hurricane force winds.
Well, if he's a freshman playing varsity at running back, obviously it speaks volumes. So.
Yeah. Had a big week last week in the first half. Hasn't gotten too many chances this year, but he's made it definitely.
Another empty look here from Zionsville. Now it looks like they're going to stay in it here.
Yeah, they'll go with 5 wides. Send a man out. That's Fawcett on the near side. He's going to take it at the 10. Gets across the 12 down to the 15. He'll be taken out of bounds. It's going to be 3rd down and long.
Good job by JP just keeping him in front. In the down and distance. Make sure you're smart with how you attack them there. Break down, let them dance all they want, and just force them to the sideline or help your friends out on the inside.
Well, I think you credit, Bombay, is that
Bombay, Coach Bombay, yeah.
Yeah, I think you got to credit him with a good call there, making sure to keep his defense back, not getting too aggressive.
3rd and 19 here.
There goes Price in motion. He's going to be out there on the left side. Possible setup of a bubble screen. They do. They hit Fawcett, but he gets away after the catch. He's going to get a nice little gain there.
Yeah.
And, the Orioles.
That's almost one of those plays that you I think 10 years ago somebody just blasts them, but now you kind of worry about hitting them too hard, and I think they forgot to tackle there,
Well, and the misdirection screen right there as they sent the running back in motion toward the left side as if they were going to set up a bubble.
Those orbit screens, I keep seeing the orbit motions a lot. I wouldn't be surprised to see Zionsville get into some more orbit motions.
To the layman's, that's just the deep motion.
Yeah, it's kind of it's literally like I explained it to my son. It's like an orbit, behind the quarterback. I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of new terms.
High, deep kick, going to get away. Taken by Peterson at about the 35-6, and that's going to be fought for. I don't know who's got it. They're going to keep fighting for it down there on field level. Avon comes up with it.
You got, as a punt returner, the number one priority you have out there is to catch that football.
Absolutely.
So JP taking his eyes off it a little bit there. Caused him to start running before that ball was caught. So. It's like a 2 tight end set. Pistol look here from the Orioles as they copy each other on formations. Handoff up the middle to James. Nice run. Nice 10-yard scamper by James there. Well, just as I said Avon wasn't going pistol, they line up in a pistol